Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bo. I am 30 years old, and I am on a journey to reach $1 million net worth for retirement age. I am about 1/3 of the way there at $300,000 net worth, and I am just trying to lower my retirement age as much as possible so that I can retire when I want to. That is what we are going to be discussing today. I just got paid, and I just wanted to go through how I spent, saved, and allocated all of my cash for the month of November. So if you're into that, please stay tuned. And honestly, I have really not much to say as an intro, except I hope you guys have a happy holiday season, however you celebrate, if you do, or if you're just having some time off of work. I hope you enjoy yourself and take some time to rest and reset for the rest of the year. Now, getting into the video, let's go through my bills and then the budget and then our plans for the next month. So all of my bills came through for the month of November. My electric bill this month was $55, which I'll take because, as you guys know, they implemented surge pricing for the city of Seattle. And so things are looking a little weird if you use your electricity during busy electricity using times. And I guess we haven't been doing that, so that's great. Next is my groceries, and they came out under for both times. So usually we like allocate around 180 to each, or 125 it used to be, now 180. And the first week it was $98 and the second was 87. So we are under for that. My blog came in at $5, my YouTube premium at $25.37, my Netflix at $29.77. So that is all my bills. I didn't actually have to pay anything for my bus pass because we didn't use the bus really at all. We used it like once, and that was some carryover from the last month. So that was zero this month. Let's move on to some housekeeping items. All right, for November, we saved nothing. Like I said, we've been investing ever since April, March-ish, ever since we met our goal. For our sinking funds, I did add another 1,000 to that on the 7th of November for a total of $4,000. And that is how much I'm actually planning to bring to our vacation. The sinking fund is complete, and I'm actually already going to start using it for the next month here so that I don't have to think about my spending while I'm on vacation. I'm going to try my hardest to keep it within that $4,000 amount, and we'll see how things go from here with that. In terms of investments, we did do that. We invested actually a lot. So I invested 2,000. No, I invested 1,000. My husband invested 1,400, I believe. So let me add that on 11/7/2025. I invested 1,000. My husband invested 1,400 for a total of $2,400. So that is 19, that's 20, 21, 966. So that's where we're at. So that is our new total for our investments. Like I said, I only put in 1,000 this time, but that is where we're sitting for our investments. So that gives us a total savings of around 2,400 outside, like post-tax dollars. And again, not adding any more of these for the rest of the year. So let's start looking at how our November went with our money. So I'm actually super excited with the progress this month. My first goal was, I guess we'll start from the bottom, make 1 cent on my blog. I actually made like 8 cents. So that was a cool little thing. Invest 1,000, we did that. And then finish sinking fund, we did that. So all of it was pretty easy and just applicable to certain goals that I wanted to reach this month. And I think that's what made it easier to achieve, which is great. So all of our goals are met and we are moving on into the numbers. So as usual, I paid all of this, or I wrote all of this out for everyone as usual so that we don't have to waste any time. And yeah, so I'm just going to add that I was paid 2,486.10 on the 20th. So that is a total of $5,095 and 85 cents. 89 cents is what it's looking like, which is great. Investments, 1,000 for me. I don't add what my husband did because it's not coming out of my paycheck. So 1,000 in investments, 1,000 in sinking fund. I only counted the investments as savings. The sinking fund is going to come back into the numbers as income. So I don't want to double, add, because it's not being saved for sure. It's not going towards my net worth. Now, for living, I was under by a lot, 1,532 instead of 1,735. For my entertainment, I was at 6,154 instead of 76. Self-care was 5,847, zero for dog. And what really shocked me was my miscellaneous not being at 500. It was at $370.99. And as you can see over here, all of the miscellaneous was food, snacks. We did have one little kind of snafu with the babysitter for our dog for the vacation. I actually had to fire her, so we had to end up paying a little bit extra for a new sitter. So that's where the FU money comes in handy. So that was kind of an unexpected expense, and we would have been so much lower, like in the 200s, if we didn't have to do that. But we did. That's life, and that's fine. With that said, it still was only $370.99 for miscellaneous, which is fantastic. So let's add these numbers up, and then we can move to the back of the book. So we are at $2,023.85, which gives us a difference of $492.15. And that is a huge difference, and one that I think it might be our biggest one actually this year, which is great because it's the holiday season. You guys know how things are, and I really do contribute saving to a sinking fund to being able to really keep on track with my budget. As you guys know, I do have an overspending issue, and I feel like for the past 2 or 3 months, I've been able to really hone in on that and really just focus my spending on what I want to spend on, which is experiences, traveling, and things like that. And it wasn't until I, went to Canada on a whim somewhat, and now this vacation coming up, that I realized that I don't want to spend my money unnecessarily or even outside of my budget. Like if it's within my budget, then yes, I will spend it on pizza and such. But outside of my budget, I don't want to go over because I have a goal that I'm working towards. So now let's move on to the math of it all. Like I said, I wrote it all out for you guys. And after everything is said and done, the difference ended up being $1,072. And it's $1,072 because, like I said, that sinking fund, we did not add that as a balance forward. So that is not included. It's going to be included as income for the next month so that it's not inflating my numbers. And I realized that I wasn't doing it correctly all the other times, I don't think. So I now know how to do that, and it's going to be, making sense for the rest of the year, which only has 1 month left. So if we look at the percentages, I spent most of my money on living, 30%, and the least on entertainment and self-care, 1% each, right? Miscellaneous was 7.3%, leftover was 21%, sinking fund was 19.6, and savings was 19.6. Now, leftover being 21%, I'm not entirely fond of, but I haven't decided what I was going to do with the rest of the money. So when I did get paid, I do have some money just kind of sitting in there. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet because I don't know what I'll need while traveling, if there's any last minute fees or things that I need to buy, or airport things, last minute tickets, things like that. So I don't know what to do with that money. So I'm just kind of letting it sit. I'm not going to throw it to Fidelity or Charles Schwab yet, just so that I can act quickly if I need to. I achieved this month's goals. I feel satisfied with my progress for this month because, I just stuck to the basics. I didn't try to do anything extra or fancy or impressive. I just stuck to the numbers, and things are getting a little bit colder in Seattle. It's getting darker, and I'm enjoying spending more time in the house, maybe playing a video game or watching a show or just being cozy at home because it's cold. And that really is helping me reach my spending goals because I'm not going outside. I'm not being tempted by advertisements or feeling a need to spend money willy-nilly. I didn't have any trouble this month. Honestly, I've been pretty steady with work, life, everything. It's been pretty copacetic and calm, and I love it this way. I'm not used to things being like that. I'm used to a little bit of chaos. So life's been pretty peaceful. I've been, hiding kind of from the economy, hiding from the noise on the internet. And I think that's been very helpful with, being able to reach my goals, not feeling too much in my head, just ignoring the noise. I learned this month by tracking my expenses that just minding your business, minding your business, relaxing and worrying about the things that you can control, not trying to change how things are. We got through a government shutdown where I had people in my family directly affected. I did spend a lot of time on the phone with the people in my family that were being affected, and they were doing well as well. They had savings and a sinking fund for it, and they're investing. I was super proud. So that's awesome. They weren't stressed really at all during that government shutdown. And so I wasn't stressed because they weren't stressed. I probably was a little bit more worried than they were. I don't know. But having federal workers in your life during this time is just such a chaotic thing. And so it's just something that we're going to have to roll with. But I just learned that sticking to what you can control, leaning into your community, and minding your business really does help get through the tough times. In terms of what I could improve, honestly, nothing. I guess spending less money on food, right? But I didn't overspend. That's all I spend my money on, food and experience. Probably why I'm fat. But that's all I spend my money on. I really need to just find another outlet. I don't know, you guys. I think that's what I can improve on though. So that is everything for the budget of it all. I did add the numbers to the end here of my book so that we could just take a tally of everything. And I can't wait to, add all of this up together, add all of this. I did come to a crazy revelation in my last live stream when I was adding these numbers, and I'm gonna make a completely separate video about that when the time comes at the end of the year. It's a time for reflection and gratitude and all that. That's when I'll make that video. But it's just a full circle moment and such a good way to end using this book. I don't know if I'm going to use this book again next year. What do you guys think? Do you think I should use this book again next year? I was thinking of doing sort of a budget tracker online and kind of showing you guys things that way. I'm not sure yet, so we will see. Writing it out does help a lot, but when this is all said and done, I have to recycle this. So it's just a lot of, I feel like, waste. I don't know. I don't keep these. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next video. I'll talk to you in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.